Hello, welcome to my channel once again. In this video, I want to work on making our event handler, our event consumer more stateful. What do I mean? In previous videos, we've created a console application that has the ability of reading events from an event hub, which is great, and it's something similar I want to do right now. But what we want to do now is that, so if I should, I think I should better just demonstrate this. Let me share my screen. Okay, so because of time, I wouldn't um demonstrate some aspect of this, but I will demonstrate the newer aspects. So previously, when I run the console application and I want to retrieve information from our events hub, and after I access those information, and let's say I stop the application and I run it again, you're still going to give me the same information. So there's no kind of connection that application already consumed the events from the events hub. However, there are some cases whereby you want your application to be aware of events that it has already accessed, and it should only be looking out for newer events. So that is where this our event or processor come in. So you can see this library here, this package that was added. So I added it separately from the event hub um library. So you need to add this because something special that we are dealing with now. You also need to have a storage account. So you can see that there is a connection string to a storage account over here. And you need to specify some of these informations here, some of this information here. So I think a better way for you to have a lot of clarity on what we are doing is for me to run this application. So when I run it and you see what it is doing, you would understand how this is different from the other console application that we are working with. So let me go to my Azure portal first. So let me stop sharing and I would go over. Yeah, so this is the same event hub that we've been using throughout this series. So it is currently empty, or I think it is empty. I let me just add some content to it. So let me add frankly your one to specify the first message I'm adding. So I do not want JSON text plain. Yeah, so let me send this frankly your one. Let me send this first. Frankly your one. This has been sent. So let me stop sharing. Now let me go over to share my Visual Studio, and I'm going to run this application now. So you can see that I have added frankly IO1. Okay. So I'm running this application now. So I'll be sharing the output screen. Let's stop sharing before. Okay. So we have it here. You can see frankly IO1 is displayed here. So now let me stop this application. So I'll stop it. Stop this application. And you know that we've already ran it now and we saw that what was added was displayed. Now let me go over to my Azure portal and I will add another event to the event hub. So this time around, let me add frankly IO 2. Frankly IO 2. Okay. So now I'm sending this now. It's been sent. So I will run the application again. I will run it again. So I added a delay for 5 seconds. So we might have to wait a little bit after I run it, but Let me run it and I'll share my screen. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. Let me share my let me just show you the delay first. So you can see this is the line for the delay. I added a delay of 5 seconds, which should already be exhausted. But when the program is running, we are going to see that the delay is actually at runtime. So let me stop sharing this and let me run this. Let me go over here. Yeah, you know that we have Frankly IO 1 and Frankly IO 2, but we've already seen Frankly IO 1. The last time we ran this application, we saw Frankly IO 1. So now it's only Frankly IO 2. Frankly IO 2 is a new event that we are yet to see. Usually, if it was in the previous console application without this processor, it will just give you all the events within all the events within your events hub. But because of this processor, it makes it more stateful. And you can see that it is only returning Frankly IO 2, even though there are other events within it. So I hope we have an understanding on why this is useful before we now go through the code very briefly. Let me share. Let me go to the code now. So before I even go to the code, you will notice that if I should view all the events in this event hub, you see that there are a lot, but the only ones that we are seeing are the ones that the application um um does not recognize. So if I should go to view events, I just before I started this video, I used it, I ran a couple. So you can see we have Franklin IO 1, we have Franklin IO 2. I think the time to life is already expired, so that's why we have just these two here. So you can see we have 1 and 2. However, when we run this application, when we run our console app, you can see we saw only 2. Okay, so now let's go and explain our codes. Yeah, so as I said earlier on, we are working with the processor now. So we have our connection string to our event of the consumer group. We're using the default, then the storage account. I think I also need to show you the content of the storage account and the reason why we are adding this. Because the storage account that is really keeping track of the function that we've accessed already. And the application of this is that if you have an endpoint that something goes wrong or an event that probably the application crashed or something, and you do not want to run certain things multiple times to reduce um, duplication and things of sorts, this can be highly applicable. So blob container client is something we use in our storage account series a lot. And you can see over here that I'm passing on the container client consumer group and the connection string to the event processor client. This event processor client is not from the messaging.event hub, but from eventhub.processor. Okay. So we pass all these. You can add a delay if you like. If you do not like, if you like, you can also remove it as well. And we've used this as well. So you can see the processor, process error async and process event async. And we also defined these two handlers over here. We define them below. And you can see that um we are console logging some information to the output screen as well. So before I end this video, let me just show you the storage accounts. that is helping us to keep track of events that have been called. So we have this is the storage account here. And I created the container name was event data. So we come over to containers and we open event data, and you can see the URL to our event hub, and you can see the consumer group here, checkpoint ownership. So you can view some of this information that we have here as well. Okay, so basically that's what this video is all about. It's just to tell you that when it comes to calling events, when you have application that you want to access events in an event hub, an application is keeping track of changes to in some environments, and you have some events that you do not want to call multiple times. So using the EventHub processor is something very useful that you can utilize for that. Yeah, so if you find this video helpful, don't hesitate to share, like, and subscribe. Have a good day, everyone.